Hi, Miguel. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, Alejandro. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's been a while since we've met and talked about topics and things that, related to health and stuff. Feel like it's been a busy month.
It has been. But now we come back stronger.
I'm back stronger. Yeah. So the topic for today, the idea, a little bit of nutrition, right? We're gonna go over general kind of myths and questions that people usually have, about there are many things. I feel like nutrition is the topic that is most talked about and sometimes in a wrong way, right? Like there is a lot of misconceptions and myths out there that like people believe and they implement it in their lives and they're not achieving their results for health or body composition and stuff because they're actually implementing the wrong ones.
Yes, you are right, man. And I would like you to ask you a simple question. Let's start with the simple so people can start understanding better what's a healthy nutrition. Uh, so how would you describe a healthy nutrition, Alejandro?
So this question is just like it should be answered individually, right? So it depends on the context, depends on the person. Okay. Now there are many things that they need to be there to be considered healthy. Okay. So no matter if you are like a sedentary individual or if you are like a elite athlete, you need to be eating these things that are gonna, I guess, label it as healthy. Okay. Things that I consider to be healthy and that they need to be mandatorily there: vitamins and minerals. To me, that's kind of like the first thing that you need to take into account. Okay. Why? Because vitamins and minerals is literally what we need for health. Immune system. Okay. So defending ourselves from like pathogens and like, bacteria that get into our bodies. The way we can make our immune system strong is by consuming vitamins and minerals. Okay. Our heart, okay, our main organ that keeps us alive, it runs on minerals. Okay. We need potassium and sodium to be able to contract, okay, the muscle. So these are definitely, I mean, the hair, the nails, the skin, all of this, they are going to be barriers that are going to help us again to be healthy. So it's like the protection. These all run on vitamins and minerals. Where do we get vitamins and minerals from? Fruits and vegetables. You have all of them there. So fruits and vegetables. Okay. Another thing that is very important is protein. Why? Because protein, first of all, is used in many like processes in the body, but one of the main uses of it is helps with muscle mass. Okay, so if you're somebody that is training, I don't care if it's cardio or weight training, you need it to be able to grow. You need it to be able to replenish what you've broken down. Okay, with training, as you probably know, we break a lot of tissue. Okay, how do we recover that tissue that is broken? Well, we need protein. Okay, so I think protein is very essential. Of course, it depends on what you do. So you're gonna need a bigger amount of protein or less. It depends on the exercise that you do and how intense and all that. But protein is one of the main things that you need to be implemented in every meal. And then when it comes to carbohydrates and fats are more important just because the brain is fat tissue. Okay, our brain, our nervous system runs on fat. And then hormones, we need to rely on fat to be able to secrete them. Okay, so pretty much all the hormones are relying on fat. Okay, so those are the things that like they need to be there all the time. Again, no matter if you're an athlete, no matter if you are sedentary, no matter who you are. This is what constitutes a healthy nutrition for me.
And would you recommend people to eat vegetables and fruits every day, every week? What's your opinion about this?
Okay, that's a good question actually, because I know people that overdo it and I know people that underdo it. So how do we know we're actually eating the proper amount? You need to realize that vitamins and minerals, they are called micronutrients. Why? Because they're needed in small quantities. Okay. So I'm gonna give you an example. Calcium is a mineral. Okay. Potassium is a mineral. They are needed in small quantities. So you need to eat them, yeah, on a consistent basis, because let's say from a leaf of spinach, you won't get a lot of nutrients out of it. So you need to consume a good amount of volume of food, of vegetables or fruits, to be able to get the vitamins and minerals you need. Okay. But yeah, keep in mind that you don't want to overdo it either, because as everything in life, once you overdo something or underdo it, there's usually problems with it. And there's actually some health problems associated with excess vitamins consumption and with deficiency vitamin consumption. Okay. So you want to be right in the middle. What I always recommend: lunch and dinner. Always have about a third to a half of the plate full of vegetables. That's what I always say. And you cannot go wrong with that. Mix them up so you get different colors, different nutrients. But I will always keep it one third, and then you can always go up to a half of the plate full of veggies.
And what do you think? I have heard that it's important to mix, like to don't eat always the same fruit, to try to mix and get the most different kind of fruits you can, and also the vegetables. So there is different vitamins and different nutrients, no, in each fruit or vegetable. So what do you
Yeah.
think about this?
Well, as you said, like every color is gonna give you the nutrients it has. So the fact that tomato is red is gonna give you actually nutrients that a carrot that is orange cannot give, and vice versa. So that's why you want to try to find the most colorful vegetables and different colors, you know, because the tomato, again, it's gonna have something that other vegetables don't have. So yeah, try to always just pick different colors. That way you're gonna ensure that you are consuming all the nutrients you need.
That's a good advice. Good advice. Lunch and dinner, no, as you say, to try to get. But for a person that is not used to eat vegetables and fruits, how should she start?
Well, okay, so this, I think this is something that the family, right, should implement. I mean, in our culture in Spain, we always eat with the family, right? At least when we are like growing up as a kid. So I think it's a responsibility of the parents to be able to, implement vegetable in pretty much every meal, right? And that the kid starts learning the importance of it, and why should we eat it. If you are an adult and you haven't developed the habit to eat vegetables, the best way to do it is find the ones that you truly like. Okay, so for me, sweet potatoes, man, I love them. Sweet potatoes, I love them. So grab that one. Very bright orange color, so it has a lot of nutrients in it. Okay. Another thing that I like, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. So pick the ones that you truly like. For some people I know, like, oh my God, I love tomatoes. Well, pick tomatoes, okay? Or green pepper or whatever. But yeah, start with those that you truly like. And then you're gonna start, again, as we talked, you start feeling pretty much immediate benefits, instant benefits when it comes to vegetable consumption. Okay, it's a fresh food. You start feeling, you consume a lot of water through them too, so you start feeling a little more hydrated. Um, you start feeling lighter. You don't need as much food. It's not that high calorie or heavy. It's very light food to digest. So usually you start feeling lighter. After the meal, you don't feel sleepy. So you start getting already instant benefits. So I would do that. And I know a trick, for example, that like some parents use with the kids for them to eat vegetables is to like ground it up. You get a blender, ground them up so you kind of see them, and then you add them to whatever you're making, pasta or rice or whatever, or a smoothie, whatever you want to do. But again, I will try not to hide it. I will just try to teach my kid or teach somebody next to you that why vegetables and fruits are important. And again, there is no better or worse. We need like variety and quantity. So again, if you don't like broccoli, you don't need to eat broccoli. No need to force yourself to eat something that you don't like. There are many options out there. So yeah, again, choose the ones that you like.
Very good advice. I want to highlight something that you just said. Me, when I was in college, I started eating broccoli because I they told me it was very good, very healthy for you, and I didn't like it, and I last less than 2 weeks, and after that, I stopped. And I needed to try other things, and now I enjoy eating vegetables. I love peppers, so every time when I can, I eat peppers because I like. As you say, I try to mix onions, carrots, the big banana, everything because it tastes better. But I get the ones that I like, and I think this is a very good recommendation.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I would like to ask about a myth about carbohydrates. I heard that some people say that we shouldn't eat carbohydrates at night, but I don't know if it's right. What do you think?
Funny enough, man, I remember back in the day, I think it was like 6 years ago. I was still in Spain, and my uncle, right? My uncle told me, look, I went to a nutritionist and they told me that I cannot eat bananas at night because they have carbohydrates in it. And back in the day, like 6 years ago, I was like, wow, this sounds kind of weird, but like, wow, if a nutritionist is saying it, I guess it's true. 6 years ago, like I was starting my undergrad, so like I had no clue. And it's very interesting, man, like how people are they're actually making a living out of nutrition advice and making a mistake with something that is very simple. Okay. And why is very simple? Well, because the body, okay, is very complex, but the way we gain weight or lose weight, you have to take into account the calories. Okay. So you need to think that carbohydrates, as well as fat and protein, they are in a group called macronutrients. Okay. And each one of them, they're going to provide a certain amount of calories. Okay. So let's say, talking about carbohydrates, we know that 1 gram of carbohydrate provides four calories. Okay. 1 gram of protein also provides 4 calories. And 1 gram of fat provides 9. So taking that into consideration, right? You have a calorie amount to be able to be Miguel. To maintain your weight like you are right now, you need, let's say, 2,000 calories. Okay. Anything below that, you're going to lose weight. Why? Because to be Miguel, you need 2,000 calories. And to be Miguel, I mean the size that you have, the muscles that you have, the energy that you have, the things that you do on a daily basis. Okay. So instead of 2,000 calories, you're consuming 1,500. The body is on an energy deficit. So the body's like, look, we don't have enough energy to maintain Miguel as he is today. What are we going to do? We're going to try to break tissue. We're going to get energy from his muscles, from his tissues. And we're going to now create a Miguel that is probably going to be smaller, that is probably going to be more sleepy and inactive, that can be maintained with 1,500 calories. Okay. And then if we go to the other side, so if you, let's say, the Miguel of 2,000 calories now consumes 2,500 calories, what's going to happen to this Miguel? Shoot, we have plenty of energy here. There is a lot of energy, 500 calories more every single day. What do we do with it? Oh, shoot, Let's create tissue, okay? So now if Miguel is training, Miguel is going to be bigger. Why? Because there is excess energy in the form of 500 calories that are going to be used to create stuff. Okay. You can also get fat, right? If you don't train and if you get those calories from the wrong nutrients, you're probably going to store it as fat, right? That excess calories. But just for you to understand that, like, it doesn't matter if it's fat or carbohydrates or protein, anything above what makes Miguel today, it's going to be weight gain. Anything below, it's going to be weight loss. So does it even matter if you consume those calories at night, in the morning? No, because if at the end of the day, right, you are at the maintenance calories, the 2,000 calories, you are maintaining your weight. It doesn't matter if you consume those calories at night or in the morning. What matters is the total number of calories you consume. Okay?
Very interesting. I think this can help a lot of people to understand things better. That there are some myths right there outside that people say, and then you believe them, and you
Mm.
are not aware of the actual reality. I would like to ask you, I think an important topic as well is fats. What do you think about fat? Because there are healthy fats, no, unhealthy fats. Can you describe a little bit more about this?
Yeah. Fats are not an option in the sense of our cells, okay? The way they're made, they have fat in them. So you have a cell. What surrounds the cell is a membrane made of fat. So if you don't have fat, you don't have cells. You see what I mean? We secrete some fat internally, but we need to consume it from our diet. Okay? So that's the first thing. If the cells themselves they have fat in it, every single one of them, we probably need it. Okay? That's one thing. Second thing, fat tissue. Okay? Very important in hormonal. Our hormones run on fat. Okay? There are many hormones that are released from fat tissue. For example, and one that people probably heard of it, leptin is a hormone that is released from fat that we have that tells the brain to stop eating. Have you ever heard about satiety? When you feel full, when you start feeling full, you're eating and you feel full, you're like, oof, I don't want to eat anymore. I'm good. This is a hormone that is telling your brain to stop eating. And this hormone is called leptin and is released from fat tissue. Okay. So we need the fat tissue for something that we do on a daily basis, which is to eat and knowing when to stop, right? And with this, we can go for hundreds more processes like this kind. Okay. Very important. We don't know how they work, right? But they're there. And again, we're relying on fat. Okay. Another thing that's very important, and that's why we usually recommend fish, omega-3. Have you heard about omega-3? Okay, omega-3 is a complex fat. Okay, it's very long chain of fat, and omega-3 helps with heart health. Okay, so that's why we recommend always fish. Eat salmon because salmon is very high in omega-3. Well, omega-3 means fat. It's a type of fat, okay, that we need for our heart health. Okay. So yeah, there are many types of fat that they need to be consumed. I will always, of course, recommend the ones that contain omega-3. Omega-3, I believe, is the most important fat that you can probably consume. But yeah, just for people to know that when it comes to body composition standpoint, keep in mind, and as I said before, 1 gram of fat provides 9 calories. So if you want to lose weight, you just have to be careful with how much fat you consume, because although it's healthy, omega-3 is healthy for the heart, it still provides 9 calories per gram. So if you overeat it, you're going to be in that Miguel of 2,500 calories that has extra calories and doesn't know what to do with it. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. Moving to the next question. What about protein? You said the function of the protein is to build muscle, not to repair muscle. Is that the only function, or what do you think? Like I heard that some people believe that you can only get protein from the animal products, no, like from meat, from also from fish. Is that true? Because I hear that you can get protein from many other sources, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the functions of protein are many. Okay. One of the things that it does is this muscle protein synthesis is called, okay, which is to create pretty much muscle tissue. Now, this is not even the most important function that it has. The most important function that it has is that there are every enzyme. I don't know if you heard about that word. Every enzyme is a protein, and what an enzyme does in the body is pretty much an it's like a middle step, like a catalyst. Okay, so let's say you have this protein shake, okay, and you have this phone. They cannot interact. Somehow they're like, nope, we cannot get together. Okay, but we need to create a computer, the one that I'm using right now to talk to you. Okay, so having these two, how the heck are we going to create a computer? Enzyme does it. An enzyme, which is always a protein, it's going to come right here in the middle, right here in the middle, between the shake and the phone. It's going to make them do their thing together, react with each other, and they're going to be able to create something. okay? So in the body, this is what it happens, okay? Let's talk about immune system, okay? How are we going to protect ourselves from pathogens, from bacteria? Well, the body relies on these enzymes to be able to make things happen. Okay, so it grabs one here, one there, they kind of interact. Well, just grab the protein, which is an enzyme, boom, 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 they work together, they create something that we need. Okay, that's the main function of protein. So keep in mind that every enzyme is a protein. So we need it for a bunch of reactions that happen in our body that make things work together. Okay, going to the animal protein or plant-based protein. As you said, we can consume protein from plant-based products too, okay? It doesn't need to be animal protein. What happens though, and people need to be careful, is that animal protein is complete, meaning it has all the 20 amino acids, okay? Sorry that I'm going kind of deep here in the physiology and stuff, but this is kind of like, without this, we cannot explain what it means, right? So like, if you grab protein, it has 20 things. Let's call them elements, okay? Which are amino acids. To be able to create a protein, you need 20 of them. What happens? Animal protein, take a chicken has all the 20. So that's why we call it complete. If you take rice doesn't have 20. It has maybe 17 of those elements, but it doesn't have 20. It's missing 3. Okay. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be lacking elements to be able to create stuff with the protein. Okay. So that's why we need to be careful that animal protein is usually of higher quality because of this, because it's usually is complete. When you take a plant-based diet like rice or beans, chickpeas, they're going to have protein in it, but they're lacking some elements, some amino acids. Okay. Now, if you have knowledge about this, and if you ask the right people and you know how to combine those plant-based proteins to be able to create a complete one, then you're fine. Then it's like having a chicken, an animal protein. Okay. So a classic combination that I see and that I use myself is rice and beans. Why do you see rice and beans a lot together? It's because rice, let's say, has 17 and beans has the 3 that rice is missing. So now rice and beans, boom, 20. Okay. And it's comparable to chicken. They all have the same amino acids. Okay. That's I think the most important thing that we need to keep in mind.
Thanks for the response. I think it can help a lot of people to have a better understanding, because sometimes when we go to terminology, like it can seem like so difficult to understand, but with examples, it's always easier to make things more clear.
Mhm.
I would like to know as well about cheat meals, no? Like, what is a cheat meal? Like, do you recommend people to do cheat meals? Can I eat a pizza? No, because me, I like pizza. Am I allowed to eat pizza? Or if I want to go to McDonald's, can I go to McDonald's? What do you think about all of this now?
Yeah, so cheat meals were created for bodybuilders actually. So it's something that probably we shouldn't even worry about, okay, from this podcast perspective, because the people listening to this is probably just people that want to get in shape, you know. What is the function of the cheat meal? The function of the cheat meal is pretty much to make you burn more calories while resting. How? Because normally bodybuilders, okay, those that compete, those like jacked ones that walk like that, those are bodybuilders, okay? Those guys, they're usually in a very restrictive diets because they need to keep a very low fat percentage, okay, for the competition. So they usually go on a deficit. As we said, you need a deficit to be able to lose weight, okay? And with that, you lose fat normally, okay? I mean, you cannot lose fat without losing, you see what I mean? Like they usually go together. Yeah, I don't want to mix things up too much, but pretty much keep in mind that those that are trying to compete and lose fat, they go on a calorie deficit. Okay, so they're consuming less calories than they need to be the Miguel of 2000 calories, the Miguel of today. Okay, so the chill meal, what it does, is going to be a boost. The metabolism, which is what I mentioned, how many calories you burn while being at rest. The metabolism, while you are on a very strict deficit, is going to slow down. Okay. What is the problem with this? That you're going to burn less calories at rest. So you're probably going to be like this. When you're in the house, you're going to be like on the couch and you're going to be like, oh my God, I feel so tired. The body's not moving. You're not burning a lot of calories, okay? Because you're already in the deficit. The cheat meal boosts it up. It's like, shoot, I eat a pizza, like you said, I ate a pizza, 1,000 calories. I'm like, oh my God, the body woke up. Okay, why? Because we kind of like giving it a little push to the metabolism again to wake up and burn a lot of energy. Pretty much saying to the body like, oh, it was a joke, actually. The deficit, it was a joke. We're ready, man. We still have energy, you know? So that's how that's why bodybuilders use it, to be able to keep burning calories while resting, okay? Do I recommend this to somebody that just needs to be in shape or want to lose weight without being a bodybuilder? No, I don't recommend it. Okay. Because we don't need it. If you're First of all, you don't need a restrictive diet to be able to be in shape. Okay. And I myself, I eat pizza and I eat crap every single week. Okay. In fact, when I go to the grocery store, I buy Twix bars. You know those chocolate bars with caramel? They're so good. I buy those. Okay. I get some candies too. Sometimes when I go out to eat, I order a burger, okay, which are fat as hell, greasy, greasy burgers. I like the fatty ones. So this is something that you shouldn't worry about, right? Because if your goal is just to be in shape, you don't need to those kind of tricky methods, like boost metabolism. No, just make sure the base is good. You can always afford a pizza, but you need to keep in mind what's the cost of it. Okay. So going back to you, Miguel, if Miguel of today needs 2000 calories to maintain his weight, and again, everything below that, Miguel loses weight, everything above, Miguel gains weight, think that a pizza is very high in calorie. So let's say that you actually consume a pizza that is 1000 calories. Well, you only have 1000 calories left to be able to maintain your weight. So if you eat the pizza and then you maintain what you normally eat on a day, you're going to go over Miguel's calories by 1000. So you need to make sure that like when you're eating those high calorie foods, you are probably replacing those calories for something that you normally eat. You see what I mean? So if Miguel eats for breakfast oatmeal, 500 calories. For lunch, chicken, 1000 calories. Okay. For dinner, beans, 500 calories. That's 2000s that it makes the Miguel that you are today. If you keep those things the same, oatmeal in the morning, chicken during lunch, and beans in dinner, and you add a pizza, that's 3000 calories. Okay. You follow? Okay. 3000 calories. Okay. What's the problem? Oh, shoot. The Miguel of today needs 2000 calories and we went over 1000 calories. What's going to happen? Miguel is going to gain weight. But what if Miguel is like, actually, I want to eat a pizza today and I know it's going to be 1000 calories. What do I do? Well, chicken, which is 1000 calories, boom, removed. And now you're going to have oatmeal in the morning, pizza for lunch, which is also 1000 calories, and beans for dinner. Boom, still 2000 calories. You added the pizza, but now you are replacing it for something. Okay. Do I recommend that to do every single day? You shouldn't. Why? Because usually these foods, they are not very nutrient rich. Okay. So they're usually just sugars or just fats, just something that are not gonna like nutrients that you don't necessarily need in such big quantities. Okay, so if you do it once a week, maybe twice, but yeah, don't rely on those too much.
I would like to say, to emphasize on something that you are saying now. We talk, I think, in one of their podcasts. If you are doing most of the things right, if one day you don't do it right, it doesn't matter. Nothing bad is gonna happen. If you eat from, let's say, a person eats 3 times a day, no, that's 21 meals a week. If you eat 15 or 18 meals healthy, the other ones you don't eat healthy or you eat less healthy, your health is not gonna like your body weight is not your body, the way it looks like is not gonna change. The way you feel is not gonna, it's not gonna change, you know, like as long as most of the things you do them right, it's okay, you know. And the opposite will be as well. If you eat 15 times cheeseburger and pizza, if you eat 5 or 6 times healthy, you eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, you're not gonna be healthy. You, of course, you're gonna be unhealthy. You know, always, most of the time, do it right and then allow yourself. Because if most of the time you eat healthy, if one day you eat pizza, it's a healthy meal because you are letting yourself, you are not going to an extreme, you know, not like we always talk about not going to the extreme and trying to have a balance with everything.
Correct. I fully agree. That's the thing. Like, we don't need those cheat meals, man. This is the cheat meals are part of the process, you know, they're part of our life. Of course, can you imagine dying without eating any more chocolate or any more pizza? Like, what are you doing? You know, that's not healthy, you know? And of course, I agree with you. Like, the path is supposed to be enjoyable, right? Why would I eat so healthy, right? And avoid from eating, like, keep myself from eating pizza or chocolate and stuff. Where am I going with that, you know? No, man, like if I keep my base completely fine, nutrient dense, you know, and I'm enjoying myself and I can allow myself to eat pizza or chocolate, of course I'm gonna do it. It's one of the pleasures of life too, you know. It's brain food, as you said, it's brain food.
Okay, and to summarize, like for people to understand what's a healthy diet, no? We have said so far, most of the times you should eat healthy. You should also eat something that you like, no? Try to find the things that you like that are healthy. Also to eat with variety, no? Try to get different foods with different nutrients, different colors, so it's healthier for you.
Yep.
And then you also were talking about carbs, protein, fats. What other things are important for people to think about a healthy diet?
Okay. So a healthy diet by itself, it does something for sure, but you need to consider activity, physical activity. Okay. This is actually how you can potentiate your diet or how you can just kind of waste it. Okay, so you need to make sure they're working together. Diet and exercise, they're working together. Okay, so to be able to summarize it, I can give you actually, I can tell you what I eat in a day and why. Okay, just to finish the episode. Look, I wake up. Okay, I drink my coffee. Okay, so I make coffee, and what I take for work is a sandwich, whole wheat bread. Why? Because I want the fiber. Okay, so the whole wheat has fiber, so I want the fiber. I put turkey slices, so that meat that is like sliced. I add some slices to it, and I put two slices of cheese, provolone cheese, and some olive oil. That's my sandwich to go. Okay, I take that in the car. Boom, boom, boom. I ate it before work. Okay. What do I do also? Before I leave for work, I prepare my lunch. And my lunch is always the same. Oatmeal in a Tupperware, big Tupperware, oatmeal. I put almond milk, and I put almond milk not because, oh no, whole milk makes you fat. No, it's because it actually, I drive for 30 minutes and I don't want the whole milk to go bad in those 30 minutes. So that's why I use like almond milk, because it's a plant-based milk. It's made of water, so it doesn't go bad, you know, and I don't get sick. So oatmeal, almond milk, and then I add either peanut butter, cashew butter, or almond butter. I love it. It gives this like salty taste to it. It's beautiful. So 1 spoon of that. I add granola to it. crunchy granola. Okay, I add blueberries, so some fruits there, and I add a banana, another fruit. Okay, that's what I take for lunch. I eat that for lunch. I come back from work, just to emphasize and for people to know, my work is very demanding physically. I'm a tennis coach and a fitness coach. So my day is literally in the sun, sunny Florida, for hours. Sometimes I play tennis with the kids. I do my workouts, sometimes during lunch break. I am lifting weights, I'm moving things around the whole day. So just for to let people know that it's very active. Okay, so I need a lot of calories. So when I come from work, what I normally do, I eat a yogurt. Okay, yogurt. I eat some chocolate, one of the Twix bars, mini Twix bars that I like. And if I'm still hungry, I'll try to even some watermelon. I like to buy watermelon here. It's really refreshing fruit, and I try to eat that. Okay, that's around now during the summer around 4 p.m. or so. Okay, 4 p.m. 4:30. Um, Now as the dinner is approaching, that's my main meal. The dinner is my main meal because it's the one that I cook at home. I always have protein, turkey, beef, salmon, or chicken, depending on the day. Okay. I have carbohydrates, pasta or rice, or sometimes bread. Then a third or a half or so, it's gonna be vegetables, okay, of whatever kind. As I told you, like I buy a bunch of colors. So green peppers, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms, sweet potatoes. Those are usually my favorite. Okay. To emphasize and for people before we leave, guys, I eat sometimes crap on a daily basis because I literally need to consume calories that from actual food and healthy food sometimes I don't get. Okay. So I'm using sweets and chocolate as a way to get easy calories to be able to maintain my weight or even to increase it because actually my goal right now for body composition is to get some muscle mass. Okay. So it's very hard to do when you're on a calorie deficit. Okay. So just for people to keep in mind, if you're sedentary, if you have a desk job, right, that you're not that active, you probably don't need to eat the stuff that I eat in the afternoon. Okay. But again, it all depends on the context. It all depends on the individual. Okay. This is very important. So adapt it to your day, adapt it to how many calories you burn, and adapt it to how many calories you need. Okay. And and that's pretty much it, I believe. Yeah, to for a healthy day. If please tell me if I'm forgetting anything that you think it's important.
Yeah, I would like to include that, for example, you eat the biggest meal at dinner. That doesn't mean everyone has to do the same. Me,
Correct.
for example, my biggest meal is lunch because lunch and breakfast, I'll do lunch and breakfast very big. And then dinner, I do it smaller because sometimes I finish a bit late and I don't want to eat a lot before going to sleep.
Correct.
But it depends. If a person has a lot of time in the morning and you want to eat bigger meal in the morning because then you have to work and you're not going to have more time, do it personal. That's why Alejandro said at the beginning, it's very important. It's personal because you know what things do you like more. You know what things you don't like as much. You know your schedule. You know when do you have more time to cook, when you don't have as much time to cook.
Yeah.
And also as you say, you were eating different nutrients, no, like sometimes you were eating in a meal, in the same meal, fats, protein, carbs, you know, you were mixing it up. You were not only eating a big plate of pasta and that's it, no, you were putting some protein to make it a bigger and more complete meal.
Correct. In fact, I'm known by people around me. I'm known to be the one that mixes everything up. So sometimes you will see a plate that has pasta, beans, vegetables, chicken, because the way I distribute my meals and I make them is for nutrients. So I always say, okay, how what's the protein here? What's the fats here? And what's the carbohydrate here? And what are the vitamins and minerals here? You know, and that's how I make up my plate. So that's how actually how I would recommend people to make it too. Okay, it's not necessarily through recipes and taste. It's more about like, okay, what do I need? How much of protein do I need? How much fat do I need? How many carbs? And then you make your plate.
And just to finish, if you heard this podcast and you would like to start changing small things about nutrition, again, do small things. Don't be hard on yourself. Step by step, start adding newer things that you like, and this is to a better life. To for you to enjoy more your time, to be in a better mood, to be happier, okay, and have a better body.
Correct. Yeah. This is again habits, creation of habits, right? Breaking old ones and creating new ones. To be able to do that, drastic changes, guys, it's an obstacle. Drastic changes will never work. You need to start slowly. You need to adapt to new habits. And once you realize over time, the habit is completely transformed. Okay. So as you said, Miguel, this is one of the greatest advices of the podcast, I believe, is start slowly, man. Start slowly, but make sure you do it on a daily basis. Okay. That way you're always on track and it's something easy to do for you.
And I think that's it. That's it.
All right, Miguel. Well, thank you again for for being here with me talking about this interesting stuff. We hope it learn well, some people learn and hopefully helps them to have a better and healthier lifestyle, which is the goal, right? To create the best version of yourself through healthy lifestyle, not through anything tedious or strict, something that you can always maintain long term, like we do, right? On our lives, we have a healthy lifestyle, each one of us from a different perspective, but I think we maintain the basis, right? We both have the basis of health, and then yeah, we just again we recommend from experience the way we feel, the way we've been progressing over time, and yeah, we hope you learned something today.
Bye bye. My
Thank
pleasure.
you, Miguel. Thanks.